Well, welcome to Schweitzer. My name is KJ. I'm the worship and creative director here, and it is my privilege to welcome you to our Good Friday service. Tonight, we're taking a look at this story of Jesus crucified and buried through the lens of the Gospel of Luke. And if you've journeyed with us for any amount of time, you may know that we've been in the Gospel of Luke since about Christmas time. And for me, it's been a really cool experience just to experience Jesus' story through Luke's gospel. And Luke does two things as a writer that I think are really unique, and two things that we've been getting flavors of week in and week out on Sundays. It's that he puts a real emphasis on the work of the Holy Spirit in Jesus' time on earth. And he also points out outsiders, or he points out people who maybe would be passed over by other writers, maybe would be easy to pass over just in our own kind of biases and mindsets. Luke does a great job at really pointing these people out and showing the way that Jesus showcases them and highlights them and puts them on a pedestal. And the way that Jesus draws all sorts of people to himself. And so tonight, we're going to be doing kind of the same thing. We're going to be going on a journey from Jesus arrested on to burial, and looking at Luke's story, we'll see how Jesus pulls people. And Luke makes sure to highlight the women who follow him, Simon who carries the cross, Joseph who gives up a grave, how he points out the centurion, the thief on the cross next to him, people that you wouldn't necessarily think of outside of kind of the classic 12 disciples. Tonight, our journey is intensely personal, but it's not private. This is something that we do together, and all of us have a part to play in this worship experience. So as we sing songs together, as we watch some video content that kind of creatively puts ourselves in this story, don't wait to engage with what God is doing. It's a tough subject to talk about death, and yet Jesus calls us to that year in and year out. So as we begin, I'm gonna read a bit of Psalm 22, and I'm gonna sing this song. And this song, I think, really sums up what we're trying to do, because it is in no way, shape, or form a Christian worship song. It is a lot like the book of Ecclesiastes in nature. It's the outpouring of an artist who knows about Jesus, maybe from his friends, maybe he spent some time growing up in church. And so he has some idea who Jesus is, but he hasn't really spent time with him, and yet he feels that he can cry out to God. And yet, in the 21st century, we see Jesus continuing to draw all people to himself. So let's read this together, we'll sing, and let's lean in and engage with what God is doing tonight. From Psalm 22. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? So far from my cries of anguish. My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer. By night, but I find no rest. Yet you are enthroned as the Holy One. You are the one Israel praises. In you our ancestors put their trust. They trusted and you delivered them. To you they cried out and were saved. In you they trusted and were not put to shame. But I am a worm and not a man, scorned by everyone, despised by the people. All who see me mock me. They hurl insults, shaking their heads. He trusts in the Lord, they say. Let the Lord rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. Do not be far from me, for trouble is near, and there is no one to help. Jesus, could you tell me what the problem is with the world and all the people in it? Because I've been hearing stories about the end of the world, but I'm in love with a girl about the war on the radio. They say the whole thing's gonna blow, and we'll all be left alone. No, we'll be dead, and we won't know what hit us. Jesus, Jesus, if you're up there, won't you hear me? 'Cause I've been wondering if you're listening for quite a while. And Jesus, Jesus, it's such a pretty place we live in, and I know we've messed it up, but please be kind. Don't let us go out like the dinosaurs. We're blown to bits in a third world war. There are 100 different things I'd still like to do. I'd like to climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower, look up from the ground at a meteor shower, and maybe even raise a family. Jesus, Jesus, there are those that say they love you, but they've treated me so terribly. And I know you said forgive them, for they know not what they do. But sometimes I think they do, and I think about you. Jesus, Jesus, I'm still looking for answers, though I know that I won't find them here tonight. Jesus, Jesus, could you call me if you have the time? And maybe we could meet for coffee and work it out. Maybe then I'll understand what it's all about.
I see you as the sun rises and light breaks across your face, standing alone and on trial. I hear the chief priests and teachers of religious law hurl insults and lies at you. They're asking leading questions, trying to get you to slip up, to make a mistake, but you won't have it. I hear you reply, if I tell you, you won't believe me. And if I ask you a question, you won't answer. But from now on, the Son of Man will be seated in the place of power at God's right hand. I hear the aftermath. They come at you again. Blasphemy, they shout. Outraged, I see you as they drag you away. I see you as you're brought before Pilate, silent, grave as the columns that flank him on either side. A crowd has gathered. The noise grows, morphs into malice. Pilate doesn't understand why you've been brought before him. I don't think he really cares. The priests explain.
This man has been causing riots by his teaching wherever he goes, all over Judea, from Galilee to Jerusalem.
I see the spark in Pilate's eyes.
Oh, is he Galilean? Send him to Herod.
Before Herod now, I see you as we repeat the scene. Different person of power, same abuse, same malice, same response. Silence. The soldiers beat you and mock you. Spitefully, they adorn you in the robe you deserve. Where they see cruel cynicism, I see you fulfilling prophecy and restoring the relationships of two rulers. You can't help yourself, can you? Reconciliation is what you came to do, and you're not finished yet.
Man of sorrows, Lamb of God, by his own betrayed, the sin of man and wrath of God has been on Jesus laid. Silent as he stood accused, beaten, mocked, and scorned, bowing to the Father's will, he took a crown of thorns. Oh, that rugged cross, my salvation, where your love poured out over me. Now my soul cries out, oh, praise and honor unto thee. Sent of heaven, God's own Son, to purchase and redeem and reconcile the very ones who nailed him to that tree. Oh, the rugged cross, my salvation, where your love poured out over me. Now my soul cries out, oh, praise and honor unto thee. Now my debt is paid, it is paid in full by the precious blood that my Jesus spilled. Now the curse of sin has no hold on me, whom the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. Now my debt is paid, it is paid in full by the precious blood that my Jesus spilled. Now the curse of sin has no hold on me, whom the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. Oh, that rugged cross, my salvation, where your love poured out over me. Now my soul cries out, oh, praise and honor unto thee. Praise and honor unto thee.
I see you once again before Pilate. 3 times he has asked the people what crime you've committed. 3 times they've responded, crucify, crucify, crucify. Pilate doesn't understand, neither do I. I hear anger topple reason as the people vote Barabbas in and you out. Pilate washes his hands of the situation, effectively removing himself from the rest of your story. But I see you. I see you 39 strikes later. I see your face painted crimson from the crown you've been adorned with. I see you shuffle along in the sand, the weight of the cross a burden heavier than even Atlas could imagine. I hear the gods grab Simon as you collapse, forcing him into the spotlight. The magnitude of your story drawing people of all kinds to yourself. I hear you speak to the women who follow you and tell them to weep not for you, but for Jerusalem. How is it that you would take time for others, even in the midst of this impossible ordeal you are going through? On the mountaintop, I hear them driving nails into your limbs and insults into your head.
Let him save himself if he is really the Messiah.
I hear you speak forgiveness over those who are blinded by conceit, and grace to he who asks for it.
Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
Surely you will be with me today in paradise, you reply. But your work is not done yet. As darkness covers the land, I see your face cast in shadow. Your chest heaves as you breathe your last. I hear you give your soul back to the Father.
Muslim.
And I see that even in death, you have called another to follow you.
Surely, this man was innocent.
Where the journey takes him, I cannot know. I see the crowd disperse as the spectacle ends, and only those who truly loved you remain. The disciples and the women stand at a distance, and yet I feel compelled to draw near. I see the sign declaring, King of the Jews. I see you and I rejoice, because your death has brought me life.
Oh, sacred head now wounded, with grief and shame weighed down, now scornfully surrounded, with thorns thine only crown. How pale art thou with anguish, with sore abuse and scorn. Oh, how your face bends solemn, which once was bright as morn. What which brought this worldly scorn. I cast me down before thee, wrath my rightful lot, but you have sweet mercy, Redeemer by the cross. You bled by our hands. You bled by our hands. You bled by our hands. You bled.
Oh, precious is the flow.
You bled by our hands. You bled by our hands. You bled by our hands. You bled for me, for you, for us, for me, for you, for us, for me, for you, for us. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Skies lay low where you are. On the earth you rest your feet. Yet the hands that cradle the stars are the hands that bled for me. In a moment of glorious surrender, you were broken for all the world to see. Lifted out of the ashes, I am found in the aftermath.
Freedom found in your scars. In your grace, my life redeemed.
thank you for making this journey with us, for being a unique part of the worship experience. As we close out this evening, can we pray this prayer together? Almighty God, your Son, Jesus Christ, was lifted high upon the cross so that he might draw the whole world to himself. Grant that we, who glory in this death for our salvation, may also glory in his call to take up our cross and follow him. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. And as we close this evening, I'm going to invite you to stand now and join us in a final song. Just one verse. And what's going to happen is I'll sing on the mic once, so if you don't know it, you can catch the melody. And then we'll sing it again, and I'll be off mic. And as I move the mic down, I encourage you to sing out and sing loud. Because like I said in the beginning, this journey, though deeply personal, is not private. But there is a unique reason and a unique power in gathering together. So let's sing this final song together. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble. Tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Let's sing it again. Were you